start doing whatever you want. Allah says, I want you to spend out of anything that I have given you and left you in charge of. Now, what has He given me and left me in charge of? He gave me a tongue. He gave me eyes. He gave me this body. He didn't just give me wealth. He gave me a mind. He gave me time. He gave me so much. And He's asking, out of all of that, I want you to give me back. If He's given you energy, He wants your energy. If He's given you talent, He wants your talent. If He's given you intellect, He wants you to use your intellect. You use your sharp mind. Spend out of it. Spend out of what Allah has given you. Give it to Him. Give it to Him and give it to Him. Some of you, mashallah, men and women, have very sharp tongues, for example. You know, if somebody says something to you, you can say something nuclear in response and silence them for generations. You know how to do it. The words come rushing from your gut, up your throat, into your, and out of your mouth. They're ready to come out. And you say to yourself, you know what? My anger and my response, I'm going to put it back in. I'm going to swallow it. I'm going to give this as a loan to Allah. I'm going to give it to, and Allah promises He will give me much back more in return. I'm loaning my anger over. I don't want it now. When impulses come in this Ramadan, what does Allah do? Allah teaches us this entire concept. Delayed gratification. When fasting begins, and by the time fasting ends, you and I are going to feel hunger. We're going to feel thirst. As a matter of fact, our Messenger ﷺ even told us that fasting extends beyond food and drink and intimacy. It goes beyond that. Our tongues are fasting. Our eyes are fasting. Our ears are fasting. Our limbs are fasting. Why? In that time, in those hours, I've decided that I'm going to be extra cautious. I'm going to be more aware of what my eyes fall on. I'm going to be more aware of what comes out of my mouth. The people that are annoying to you before Ramadan are still annoying to you during Ramadan. The people who make you angry before Ramadan started still make you angry when Ramadan has started. The things that agitate you, the things that, or the things that you're drawn to, like you like to waste your time with them. Entertainment. Some people lose themselves in entertainment for hours and hours. Some people lose themselves in social media for the day sun goes up and down, they're scrolling screens. That's what they're doing. Whatever that is, in Ramadan, it's not going to go away. You start thinking, oh no, that's shaitan. And shaitan is chained. So as soon as Ramadan starts, وَتَكُونُوا مِن بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ. After shaitan is gone, you're going to be good. You're great. No, it doesn't work that way. He's done pretty good training for 11 months. And now you're on your own, and you're still conditioned to do what he's been conditioning you to do. This month is actually a time for us to understand what it means to give Allah alone. What it means to give up before Allah. And by the way, the idea of alone is, in the case of Allah, Allah Azza wa Jal is promising, guaranteeing that He's going to give you back. Just like He says, okay, why don't you hold off on eating and drinking? Why don't you hold off on intimacy? Hold off on it for these hours for me. And Allah promises you, guarantees you rewards and benefits. And those rewards and benefits are not on the iftar table. There are much more rewards and benefits than what's sitting at the table. What you're getting out of this month is so valuable that it's actually going to be the only thing of value when we come in front of Allah. That's the last thing I want to share with you about Allah's returns. What is actually valuable? In this life, money is valuable. House is valuable. Clothes are valuable. Jewelry is valuable. These things are valuable. Health is valuable. Your body is valuable. These are things that we value. Good food is valuable. These are things that we value in life. You wouldn't want to wear dirty clothes. You wouldn't want to live in a bad neighborhood or in an ugly house. You want to be in a place that has more value because you value yourself. But one day comes, a day is coming where none of this has any value. None of it. إِذَا الْعِشَارُ عُطِّلَتْ. When people used to work their entire life in the Arabian desert, they worked their entire life, one day I can buy a camel. These young men today, like they have a poster of a Ferrari or a Mercedes in their room, like one day, yeah. If they had posters back then, it would have been a camel poster. Yeah, that's going to be my Yeah, that's going to be awesome. That's what was going on in there. And then Allah says Judgment Day comes and it has no value. It's gone. What's the only thing that matters on that day? إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. The only exception is the one who comes before Allah with a sound heart. What do you get out of Ramadan? What do you get out of giving Allah alone? What does He give you? He gives you a sound heart. He gives you and me taqwa in our hearts. He gives us tranquility and peace in our hearts. And when we can have that, there is nothing more valuable. You can lose everything else. This is overpowering everything else, every other loss. No loss is any more a loss than this, gaining our hearts back. That's what we're struggling to do this Ramadan. That's what we're trying to do. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us a cleansed heart this Ramadan and reconnect ourselves to Him. May Allah Azza wa Jal really make us contemplate what it means to give Him, Allah Azza wa Jal, a good loan that He can multiply for us and dignify us by means of it. وَلَهُ أَجْرٌ كَرِيمٌ. Before I conclude, I was asked to make this announcement. I was going to make it after Jum'ah, but I don't know if you're like any other masjid in the Muslim world, then as soon as Jum'ah is over, there's a stampede. So people want to leave quickly. So I'll make a very quick announcement. Just a show of hands, I'd like to see how many people can read the Quran in Arabic, even though for the most part they don't understand what they're reading. Okay, you can read the Quran in Arabic, but for the most part you don't understand what you're reading. Okay, I was like you. I'm not a scholar, I'm not a sheikh. I know that was the word, those words were used for me. I'm none of those things. I felt a disconnect between myself and what I was reading in the Arabic Quran. And when I tried to read the translation of the Quran, I found it even more confusing. And I knew there's something in Allah's own words that I'm missing. And so I decided to study the Arabic language myself, and Allah opened that door for me, and I became a teacher of the Arabic language, and I developed a method of teaching those who were in my place. Meaning, they were reading in Arabic, but they were not understanding what they were reading. How do you make for those people a program that they can easily start to understand the language of the Quran? I don't teach as a teacher, I teach as someone who sat in your seat as a student. And that's a program that I developed. I taught it many years in the United States. I've had thousands and thousands of students in this Quranic Arabic program called the Dream Program, because it was a dream of mine to learn this language, and I'm sure it's a dream of so many other countless Muslims. That's actually a course that I'm starting here at this masjid, inshallah ta'ala, this Wednesday. And it's going to be for 10 straight days. It's in the morning time. I know that's work for some of you. But for 10 straight days at 9 a.m. this Wednesday, we're going to start. And it's going to be 3 hours every single day. And my hope is that many of you can come and attend. There is a tuition for the course, but actually, if anybody cannot afford the course, it's completely free for them. No questions asked. The point is, Ramadan is already here. Let's show Allah some commitment that we want to journey towards His book. And if you can honor me with the opportunity to help you do that, I'd be honored by it. If you can come in, it's open to men, women, and even children. The last course I taught was in St. Louis in the United States. I just came from there. And we had about 230 students there that were studying. And about 70 of them were kids that were between 9 and 12 years old. So even children are attending along with retired teachers, and I would also invite Arabic teachers to come to see the method of teaching, because I'd like you to take that and use it in your schools and in your classes and courses as well. So that's the brief announcement that I have for this Wednesday at 9 a.m. Jazakumullahu khairan. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikr al-Hakim.